How you doing, everybody? My name is Michael Zapsik. I'm from AMC's Comic Book Man, and you're listening to iWalter.
Faster than a speeding bullet, more powerful than a locomotive, able to leap tall buildings in a single bound. Look, up in the sky, it's a bird brain, it's a plane, it's iWalter. Yes, it's iWalter, strange visitor from another planet who came to Earth with powers and abilities far beyond those of mortal men. iWalter, who can change the course of mighty rivers, bend ears with his annoying voice, and who, disguised as Walter Interranti, mild-mannered janitor for a great metropolitan newspaper, fights a never-ending battle for truth, nonsense, and the American way. And now, another exciting episode in the adventures of iWalter.
Hey everyone, this is Walter from iWalter, and it is Sunday night. It's the night before I have to go back to work again on March 13th. Yeah, it's going to be a little bit of a change. I've been away for about 6 months.
Hey, if I could just interject here, I really didn't think you were going to be. I know I didn't think you were going to be going back to work after it was the breaking the glass incident at wherever it is that you worked at. I'm not going to mention, but
sure,
this time around, because of the length of time, I didn't think it was going to happen. I thought they were going to find a way to, keep you from going back at a bit of a cost because you were getting paid, though not working, for somewhat of a length of time. But then there would be some reason, some loophole. So anyway, well, what I'm curious about, by the way, this is Matt.
Sorry about that, folks. I haven't introduced him. Can I mention your last name?
No. Well, let's talk more about me later. I would like you, not that this is going to have any effect probably, but I would like to see what would happen if I gave my website or played a snippet of my music. Like, would anybody somehow, would I get a hit or two or three from that? But we'll talk about that later.
Yeah,
but
sure.
Then, okay, so I was shocked when you said, okay, I'm going to be going back to work on Monday. And then, what am I trying to say here? But then you did mention that you think they might be bringing you back just in time for the strike to happen. That way, when they pay you when you're on strike, it'll be $1 a day, not the full salary. But my question is this: okay, so the strike happens. Like, do we know that the strike is going to happen? And is it that we know when it's going to start? How long is it going to last? Does anybody know? And do we know? We don't know the outcome, right?
Well, that's true, Matt. The thing is, I'm using my now already. My father he converses with people where I worked, and they called a retirement meeting at the end of every month, and he had spoken about it.
With the retirement meeting, what? Not to sound like a dick, but what business is it of his?
Well, they kind of want to know what's going on. People
who no longer work there want to know what's going on.
Yeah, they're kind of still conversing, and some of the people they might meet at this meeting might be still working there and ready to retire. Okay. So they're kind of getting. But my dad, it keeps him going, just knowing what's going on where I worked or he used to work. Now the problem is though, I don't think I should mention. I probably mentioned before, not the place of work, but the union that I work with.
Well, don't mention them either, but...
Okay. Well, the union that I'm involved with,
right?
Just going by the pattern in the past that they've, have taken with other companies, these other companies went out on strike for a very long time.
How long is a long time?
6 months at least, maybe longer.
And when you're on strike, you get paid $1 a day? Is that what it is?
Yeah, that's for picket duty. So, yeah, you don't get paid at all because you're leaving the company. And the thing is, when you go out on picketing or... you go on a strike, the other issue you might run into, which you don't want to, is they could even lock the doors on you or just keep you out permanently. So, unless you come to some type of agreement, I think that could happen.
Well, can a business, like a corporation, say, look, we can't come to terms with this union. They're just ridiculous. We can't afford what they want. So, but they're not allowed to, get rid of the union, are they?
Not that I know of. Now, that's another thing. What happens sometimes when you're out on strike for such a long time, the agreement you might come up with the company might be coming back for a lot less than what you expected. Like your goals or your intentions are to do better than your last contract, and you might end up coming back with not even that from your last contract, but even less.
Well, wait a minute. I wonder, would that happen if, again, I don't know, but would that happen if, the union bosses to get a better deal for themselves kind of got a not so good deal for the underlings. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, they might hope, though. I mean, I'm guessing the place I work, they might even hope we do go on strike so they can, make us take less. Now, one of the things, I probably didn't answer your question correctly.
No. Well.
I mean, the other thing is, I've heard they might want us to work 10-hour shifts on straight time. Get rid of overtime. And like right now where I work, we get what's called time and a half, double time. And they might eliminate all that stuff and just make everything time and a half. If you work 10-hour shifts, 40 hours a week, anything under the 40-hour mark, no matter how much you work per day, is going to still be straight time.
Oh, well, I thought that was the case anyway, that overtime doesn't kick in until you've got to the 40-hour week mark.
Not
a 40-hour per week mark.
Most jobs, yeah, that's actually true, but where I work, actually, if you work one day 12 hours or 16 hours, you get paid time and a half and even double time. Anything after 12 hours can turn into double time.
Even if you hadn't yet gotten
past 40, yes.
Wow.
So if you just started the week, like your Monday, whatever day it might be, because it varies for each person. If your first day of the week is 16 hours,
then 8 of that is overtime.
Well, eight of it. Well, it depends. If it's before your shift, if it's like you come in on Monday before your shift, that's all overtime. That could even be double time. That's called double time. Like if I came in tonight, if I went to my job tonight before my shift started, it's still considered a weekend. That would be considered double time. Yeah. Now, if I come in for 8 hours and I work, let's see, what is that, like 8 hours of overtime. The first 4 hours of that 8 hours of overtime for the 16-hour shift I would do would be time and a half. Anything after 12 turns into double time. And that's for a 16-hour shift just to start off the week.
Okay. Well, look, we're not going to know what's going to happen until it happens, I guess. So, I'm curious as to what their game is, if anything. I mean, what was the reason for you being gone that long? It almost seems like there wasn't any real plan that I can discern, unless there is, and it's still unfolding, and they're going to figure out what to do with you later on, or hey, everybody's going to go on strike. Let's bring them back just in time for the strike.
That's what I think part of it is. Yeah, if I was out on strike and it continued, because I think it's next month, the end of next month, our contract is up, and then that would be, if I'm not back at work before the contract and I'm still out, I would get paid by the company and not by our union. Or, my wages are determined by my union. Right now, they're being determined by the company itself.
Okay.
It's kind of weird. I don't even quite understand that myself. That's why I was explained to me.
Well, let's go on. I'm curious as to just to see the behind the scenes and how you do these podcasts. And a lot of times when I'm listening and you're doing a story, and don't take this the wrong way, I'm listening to the words that you're citing from the story and trying to figure out what word it really is. Like, for example, I think the other day. What the heck was it? It was the other day where I think the word you wanted to say was altercation, which means an argument between people.
Yeah.
But I think you were saying alteration, or maybe it was vice versa, something like that. So I'm just curious about, and again, I'm not, this isn't to put anybody down. I'm just curious about, like, what words you might stumble on and what really is the word. And like I say, when I'm listening at home, I try to see if I can figure out what the story really says. I don't have the story in front of me. I've hardly ever looked it up.
Yeah.
I have a couple of times. I think I actually looked up that picture of that really attractive Mexican lady who's, like, the girlfriend of some music guy or somebody.
Yeah.
Or maybe he's not a music guy, but in the bikini and whatnot. You were talking about that just the other day, I think.
Yeah, I was. Yeah.
So, go ahead. I see. Now, let me ask you this question, too. So you don't really, even though, it's a little bit on the fly, making it up as you go, you try to select stories ahead of time. Mm-hmm. You don't just click anything and it just pops up and you right away try to read it. It's something that you sort of pre-read at least a little bit to then bring up here. But you said today you didn't do any of that except for just this one thing of a guy in the area that I guess we were just at last night, older guy who was about to get robbed by two young guys, I guess, and he shot one of them in the head or something like that. So I just want to go ahead and pretend I'm not here for a moment, and read this thing the way you would do if nobody was here? I just want to see.
Well, sometimes what I do, honestly, Matt.
Just do it. Don't tell me what you're going to do. Just do it.
Well, I mean, it's easier because now I used to line up stories. I know you said this too. I used to line up a bunch of stories, and it got really difficult because then the computer would freeze up the stories. So now I just go through my Facebook page. I'll look and I'll open up and I'll say, okay, I want to read this. This looks pretty interesting.
All right, go ahead, do it.
So, well, this one, I'm not going to, and I try not to. That's what I try not to do, and I fall into this category all the time where I end up trying to read it, and I mess up on the names and the words.
Well, you kind of have to. I mean, you can't say, hey, there's a story on opposing views about such and such thing. Let me tell you what it says, but not read any of it. You got to read some of it. I mean, Rush reads some of the story, not the whole thing.
That's true. Now, question I have for you, even, because I did pick this from opposing views. I try to get what I think is conservative websites. Now, sometimes, like Huffington Post, you want to stay away from that. I try to. Now, opposing views, have you ever heard of that?
I have. I forget. I think it is conservative.
Okay.
But remember, I mean, Rush doesn't only read from conservative websites. I mean, he reads from
Daily Mail. Yeah,
just because you're reading it doesn't mean, if anything, when you're reading it, and if it is from something like The Guardian or any of those places that has a bias, you're pointing that out along the way. But hopefully at least they're getting the facts correct.
With me, that's not going to be the case. But I know.
I mean the website is getting its facts correct.
That's true.
I mean, they'll try to spin it or, what was it? Oh, you know who you would like too? I was telling you about Milo. There's a guy. He's a Romanian guy. He's got kind of a funny voice, but I love the way he talks. The guy is like super sharp. I don't know anything about him. He sounds like he might be in his 30s. His YouTube channel is V, capital VEE. Again, he's a Romanian guy, and he goes through these stories and really points out about how, if you were to read this story, you would think, what was it? Oh, I know what it was. It was, this is what it was. He was talking about Jews in France and what they're up against and how they are, fearing for their safety and stuff like that. But the story is so biased that they make it sound like just like they have to fear for their safety from like French people. Like what they have to fear for their safety from, but the article doesn't tell you that. Like they're kind of keeping. It's almost like when some politician gets in trouble and he's a Democrat, like sometimes like they won't mention what party he's from. You know what I mean? Like you can't find out what party he's from. So it's kind of like that. Maybe we should look this guy up later. But you go ahead and do this story. Forget about whether opposing views is this, that, or the other thing. I've heard of it, and I think it is conservative. I probably read some stuff from there before. Wouldn't you go to like drudgereport.com? You know what? Sometimes I would because there's dozens and dozens of stories updated frequently from all kinds of sources, left, right, and center, that you should pull off of there. That's true. Actually, there's a friend at work, besides you, but a friend at work, he actually follows religiously the Drudge Report. Sometimes I just have a difficult time, honestly, for me to read the stories. I mean, these kind of sources... Well, that's not going to be because it's on Drudge. I mean, that might be... sometimes... sometimes there's a word in there that maybe you're not familiar with or something like that. But go ahead and read this one about two guys try to stick up a 67-year-old man. Continue. And pay the price. Well, I'm going to try to... I know you said not to do that. I'm probably just going to look at it. It says a man reportedly made the fatal mistake of bringing a toy gun to a real robbery where police say he was then shot and killed by his victim, who was carrying an actual firearm. Now, again, I mentioned this before. I just have to interject this. I've said this on another show. I'm actually at the point now, I'm really considering getting a gun myself almost, legally. I'm just really afraid. And this is around Pennsylvania. You hear some of these stories, obviously, because I'm looking for stuff near home when I can. Anyway, it says the masked subject who... Suspect. Oh, suspect. There we go. Suspect. Thank you. Who was reportedly in his late teens or early 20s, approached a 67-year-old man while he was walking in Cobbs Creek Park in Upper Darby, Pennsylvania, on Wednesday afternoon and aimed a pellet gun in his face, reports state in New York Daily News. It says he reportedly had an accomplice who was carrying a stick, reports NBC News 10.
But it says after the suspect was... let me reread that. I apologize. After the suspect with the toy gun got into a physical confrontation with the victim reportedly pulled out a .38 caliber handgun and shot him once in the head, killing him in the scene at the scene. So I don't know if I should read it anymore.
Well, my first thought is I hate to say it, but it's good news because, for example, I mean, take what happened. I know there's been some controversy about how much did it really happen, but take like the sexual molestation stuff of like German women in Cologne and some of the other places over there in Germany on New Year's Eve. Mm-hmm. That'll get tamped down when these guys who are doing it start getting their heads blown off. Now, of course, the problem is and this is an organized thing. They do it in great numbers. It's not like one guy. It's it's almost a question of like how many people can you shoot if you're surrounded by 100 of these guys, of these migrants, Syrian or from other North African countries. If you have a gun, even then, do they know, well, he can shoot about 6 of us or so, but then after that, he's got no more bullets. Or she, I guess, technically.
Yeah.
So anyway, my thought about this is kind of a good thing because, listen, unlike what people think, criminals are not stupid. If they start seeing that this is going to happen, they're going to find some other way around it. It's almost like it reminds me, there was a story, this is going back like 10 years or more.
Sure.
Where somebody, it was almost kind of like a George Zimmerman case, but it wasn't that. There was like somebody went over and shot some kids who were trying to break into like a neighbor's house. I think the neighbors were on vacation or they're away. It was kind of like a relatively nice neighborhood, and these thieves were trying to break in. So some other guy went over and shot him, and then somebody said, and I agree with him. He's like, "Boy, that street is going to be the safest place in the world for another couple years because criminals are, the word gets out and they're not going to go, hey, somebody just got shot here trying to break in. They're not going to go there. They're going to let's go somewhere else."
Well, that's true. I mean, I agree with you, and especially the story. I mean, yeah,
and the people who are against guns are so stupid. They think, oh, if you have a gun, then a criminal will attack you. But if you're gunless, if you're defenseless, oh, he'll leave you alone. It's exactly the opposite of the truth. But
you're absolutely right about that. I actually have a couple questions for you, if you don't mind.
About what?
Well, we had this discussion last night. Now, should I mention about like politics and stuff about
if it comes up?
If it comes up.
Finish out this story like you would
sure?
As if I wasn't here yet.
Because normally I don't read all the way through. I'm just afraid
to. Well, usually finish up by going, "This is ridiculous."
Well, I can say that. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, but also it's pronounced ridiculous.
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 No. Ridiculous.
That's ridiculous.
No. All right, you know what? Forget it.
Should I read the story or not then?
No, find another one.
All right, I'll see what I can come up with.
Because sometimes you just tool around and then usually get distracted by some, I think, attractive female. And you go, oh, look at that. I got to put that on my page.
Actually, you know how I do that now, since you want to know everything?
What's the Hillary Clinton one down there?
That one's kind of funny. Now, Matt, I'm glad you mentioned that. It says, let me get my glasses up, register to vote now because, says, yes, because it states, now this
she's out of here if
she says that. That's not
that
good.
Would be great.
Oh, I agree.
Not even her so much as the other people who are like Whoopi Goldberg. I'm leaving the country if Trump wins. I mean, Trump's not my first choice by far, but
I know.
Although I guess who else is
Miley Cyrus is going to leave the country too.
That'd be good.
Yeah,
that'd be good. But what would be good would be like getting in there if you can. How would you get it at them? But like getting in their face and needling them. Say, hey, you said you were going to leave. What are you still doing here?
That's true. I mean, the only problem is they can say they will leave the country, and they do, but then they'll be back again just for movies and TV shows.
Or they'll do it like initially, or they'll try to say, well, I have a second home in France. Yeah, but come on.
Exactly. Because you're probably thinking the same person I am.
Who?
It's like on the tip of my tongue. It was
Johnny Depp?
Yes.
Well, he did move there, didn't he?
He did move to France, but he's still doing making movies and stuff.
So it's probably like for all intents and purposes, he never went anywhere. But that would have been the case with him anyway. These people have homes in other countries anyway, so it's not a big deal. But what was I going to say? So no, what I'm interested in is with Hillary not winning, like because we have two chances for her not to win. It's not to get the nomination, which I don't know. I can't figure out whether that's the case or not. If that, some people say no, there's no way that it's not going to be her, but then other people say yeah, but I don't know. So, but what's interesting to me is like, or what's going to be interesting is like if she either loses the nomination, which means she's not going to be president, or loses the general election this fall. How soon is the divorce going to come from Bill? Because she does not like being with Bill, because of his ways, and when there's no more reason to have a husband anymore, due to electability in politics. How soon is that divorce? I say like within 2 weeks. Like if it, if, let's say Trump wins in November, or let's say in July of this year, Bernie gets the nomination. I mean, you're going to have to hear about the Clintons are getting divorced within like 2 weeks, right?
Well, that's true. Honestly, I don't know, Matt. I just have this fear inside of me that she might actually get it for the Democrats. How I don't understand why.
Well, it depends how you look at it. In some ways, maybe she is more electable than Bernie because Bernie is 74.
Yes, and
the question is, other than idiot college students, do the rest of the country? Maybe they do. Do they? Do they think government socialism is, whatever we're going to call it, democratic socialism, the sweet spot between capitalism and socialism? Do they want that now? Maybe they do. You know what I mean? Like 20 years ago, 30 years ago, that wouldn't have worked at all. But maybe now, remember, it's possible that, like I said, the voters are dumber than ever, and they have been moving in a way where they don't seem to be minding being a slave to government if they think they're going to get something out of it. Now, the irony is that they're not going to get anything out of it. They're going to be, the people that are under the poverty level, most of them are on welfare.
Yeah.
So being on welfare doesn't mean you get more. It actually means you're stuck down there. But people are so dumb they can't realize that. Now, by the way, you did you figure this out? Because you used to say if Hillary gets the GOP for the Democrats, you know what GOP stands for?
General.
No. Grand Old Party. You know what that is?
No.
That's the Republican Party.
Oh, I didn't know
so
that.
There's no such thing as saying if Hillary gets the GOP.
Okay.
Grand Old Party is synonymous with Republican Party, party of Lincoln, the party that Lincoln started. I think what you meant to say was if Hillary gets the nomination.
Nomination, okay.
Or he gets the sufficient amount of delegates to be. So, yeah, that's what GOP means. Anyways, go ahead. You were going to say.
Well, I have a question, too. I mean, what do you think? Because I remember I listened to Rush on Friday a little bit, and it sounds like,
I haven't been listening to Rush. Not that I don't like him or
no,
agree with him. I do. I just haven't done it in...
Oh, wow.
I don't know how long it's been. It's been a long time.
Well, that's true, but you might have been listening to him when he had the Operation Chaos going on with Hillary, trying to get her to remove Obama when he was running for...
Yeah, we didn't want Obama as the nominee because he had a better chance of winning. Plus, after a while, it became evident that he was really dangerous. And you would talk about we're 5 days away from fundamentally changing the United States of America, and the people are so stupid they never thought like, well, wait a minute. If you think, what do you think about America? Do you think America is the best place to live in the world? Because if you do you want to fundamentally change something that you think is good? Would anybody say I love my wife, but I want to fundamentally change her, or I really like the car I'm driving, but I want to fundamentally change it? But people are so dumb that when he says we're going to fundamentally change it, nobody thought to go, okay, wait a minute, change to what? And is change always good? What if your boss says, hey, we're going to change your salary? You were making $30 an hour. Now you're going to make $10 an hour. Well, that's a change. Must be good.
Oh, yeah. Well, they didn't ask for the change. They just thought change was going to be what they...
I don't think they would even be able to define it or describe it. And, so I don't know. The voters, especially the people who decide the election, which are swing voters, they're the dumbest of all. And, we're getting dumber and dumber as time goes on. It's kind of funny. I mean, we can look up anything in the world on the net, have more access to information than ever before, but people are less intelligent, wisdom is definitely gone, but even book learning or facts or things like that, people know less than ever. But what is that's right. You were saying that people who think Trump would be a loser, they're trying to help him. I don't think he needs any help getting the nomination or getting delegates because he seems to be cleaning up anyway so far.
That's true, but I mean, there is it looks like, I guess Snerdley was kind of saying this. He felt, not that you heard his voice, but it's, I'm sorry, I'm just adjusting this real quick. It sounded like that the people on Russia's staff were really concerned that there might be an Operation Chaos going on where they're trying.
You know, I don't know how to measure that or quantify it, but my inkling is that the Trump machine is mostly fueled by. It's kind of like the same as the Obama machine. It's people who really want things to change because they don't like the way things are going, but they're so anxious for it that they don't actually know what that's going to mean. So the people who are enthusiastic about Trump really are very close to the Obama zombies of 2008 who just say things like time for change and hope and stuff like that. I don't, it's like, it's just a different side of the coin. Even though Trump has an R after his name, not a D, and even though he is criticizing Obama, which he didn't used to, and he didn't used to criticize Hillary, it's the same. I'm trying to think of a phrase that would sort of encapsulate this. It's the same, just hoping against hope for anything, and I don't even want to think about I just, I want this so badly, and they don't want to think past that. So the people who want Trump now, they really want Trump, but I don't know that they think they know why, but I'm not sure that they do, and they also, I don't think have given much thought to after. It's like an infantile sort of instant gratification or there's no second stage thinking there. It's just first stage. So I don't know. I mean, which kind of puts the lie, and not just Trump, but also Bernie Sanders' popularity. It puts the lie to this ridiculous notion that the economy is really roaring back, and unemployment can't really be 4.9% if we have record high people not in the workforce. And remember too, I don't know if I told you this, but the way they calculate employment, and this is something I learned from Peter Schiff.
Yeah.
Who just learned this himself. It's so outlandish. Like if you lose your full-time job, let's say you lost your job at wherever you're at, and you ran out and got 3 part-time jobs. If those jobs add up to at least 35 hours a week, like each one, like this job is 10 hours a week at Subway sandwiches, and this job is 15 hours a week at Wawa, and then there's another job that's 10 hours a week cleaning offices after hours. If that adds up to 35, the government now counts you as having, are you ready for this, 3 full-time jobs.
Are you serious?
Absolutely serious.
So, but you're still not going to be able to get health benefits, so you're going to have to still pay for those yourself, am I correct?
Yeah. No, you're working for, and another thing too is, the minimum wage being raised, is an issue, but so many people are working for the minimum wage. So to say that the economy is roaring back, well, it's roaring back with low-wage, part-time jobs of which you need 2 or 3.
Yeah, that's kind of funny you mentioned that, because if I remember correctly, I thought it was back when Bush was in, and people may have worked more than one job, but they actually were getting more hours, and they didn't have to pay for this health benefits either.
Well, that's true, too. Remember, the guy that works for me, one of the guys that works for me, he got hit with that this year. Now, he's a guy that, before this Affordable Care Act, he could have not bought health insurance, took his chances since he was young and healthy, or maybe smarter, have a catastrophic plan for relatively cheap where you only use it if something really, really bad happens, but like you pay out of your pocket for your own little things, like the occasional visit to the doctor if you have a cold, or I don't see the point of going to the doctor if you have a cold. I mean, there's no cure for it, and you're just going to sweat it out for a week, and then it'll be over. But but now he has to. So, and I was telling you last night, there's going to be a lot of people that are like, I'm not paying that. I mean, when I was at Monco a couple semesters ago, there was some guy, I was overhearing, and he was like, I'm supposed to have to pay this or pay the fine. It's like, I ain't paying it, and they can't afford to. I mean, these are broke. Excuse my language. They're broke ass college students who have no money. Anyway. Well, let's move on. We could literally talk about this all day. I want to.
Oh yeah.
I want to talk about something else. Look for something else on your now. So, excuse me. Are you telling me you wouldn't just like spontaneously off the cuff open up Facebook while you're doing your show and just see what happens to grab your attention at that moment?
I've done that. I also do that.
Now, do you think that doesn't work as well as sort of pre-production, looking at them ahead of time?
I tried everything. I did try the pre-production thing, but again, when you put too many stories up, then eventually it just won't open up like the page for you. So that's why I kind of line them up, and then I try to go through them and read them then. And when I do the spontaneity thing, that's when I always find the pictures of sexy girls and stuff. And
Spontaneity.
Yeah. That's where I get distracted I know it's hard to believe. I get distracted very easily. I'm being sarcastic, but
no, listening to that is not really a problem. I don't think I would. I mean, I don't know. Like, I know it used to be the case that nobody wanted to listen to dead air.
Yeah.
But, if or whatever. But then people like Howard Stern sort of turned that on its ear when if you were interested in what he was saying, especially if it was like I'm sure once upon a time nobody thought they would be interesting to hear about some mundane thing that Howard would talk about, but he made it interesting somehow. And other people have too. So, yeah, I don't know that. Well, I will say this: I'm sure nobody wants to hear. Like, if you're trying to remember something and you've got a little bit of a short-term memory loss, I'm sure nobody would want to hear you go, "Yeah, so that girl in that show that was what is it?
I've done that before.
Yeah, like that. I mean, all depending. I don't know. Like sometimes, I guess it depends on the mood of the listener. Sometimes that's annoying if you're hearing somebody doing that. You're like spit it out, and other times maybe not. What the heck is that? 7 years of bad luck if you don't like it. Oh, that's some goofy thing.
Yeah,
I think your pal Rachel just sent you a message or something online.
Let's see. I mean, if I can open this up, yeah.
Anything important?
No, I this is. Just general things people do on Facebook, find videos or admire my pet ones I find. So yeah,
is she a big fan of cat videos on YouTube?
For some reason, I don't know why she her daughter has a cat, and her daughter lives with her. I think she kind of gets annoyed by it, but she still seems to.
Could we do this? I'm just, and again, it's only because I'm curious. I can't imagine this would have any effect. But could we plug my business?
No, go right ahead. Yes.
Okay.
You can plug your business. I have no problem with that.
Because I'm curious. Again, like, does anybody make it this far? Because, again, I'm not putting you down, but I'm wondering if, like, some of your hits that you get are people who listen for a second and, just to see what it's like and go, oh, okay, and then move on to something else. I mean, I'm curious on Spreaker or any of these podcast sites, how much of that is going on. You know what I mean?
Most podcast sites probably do a lot better than I do, I'm sure.
Well, I don't know. You'd have to do a lot to stand out. There's probably few and far between of people that have any kind of like real following. You know what I mean? I can't believe, even that one that I listened to called "The Sex I'm Not Having." I mean, with those two women in Ohio, wherever they were. I mean, I enjoyed listening to that, but how many people can really be like? I'm not listening to that religiously. I listened to it a couple times.
Yeah.
But anyway, okay, so. So Walt and I are here in the mid-Atlantic part of Pennsylvania, southeastern Pennsylvania, suburbs of Philadelphia, northwest of the city by 35 minutes or 40 minutes. All right. So my business is called The Music Teacher Guy, LLC, and the websites I have are Music Teacher Guy and TheMusicTeacherGuy.com. I have a lot of other domain names, but most of them haven't been built up into anything. I was trying to do the Skype thing, music lessons on Skype with privatemusiclessons.com, but hardly anybody's ever contacted me through there. So, yeah, again, musicteacherguy.com or themusicteacherguy.com. Now, would you be able to go to my Reverb Nation page and play, or Spreaker, whatever's easier, and play a couple of selections of music that I did? What would we do? Play it through the speakers and hold the mic up close to the speakers? Or
I can certainly do that. I can try to do it without shut it down. You want me to try? Which one would be better though?
I don't know. Let's try Reverb Nation. Reverb Nation. Now that I'm trying to fill up some dead air while you're typing, I have nothing to say.
Oh,
nothing to say. Is this Columbo? No, that's not Columbo. What show is this on here?
You know what? I'm not even too sure. Sunday nights always have different shows. I'd have to click and find out. These are all obviously old shows, but
now in Reverb Nation, can you do a search for the Music Teacher Guy?
Who's that guy? You know what? Why we're doing this?
Okay.
What does LLC stand for? I apologize.
Limited Liability Corporation.
Oh, is that your?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's sort of a. I guess it's for tax purposes, or it's a certain something to do with the tax code, or some kind of provision which for people who for companies that are not real big.
Alrighty,
You know what
that's yeah.
Like Walmart would never be an LLC.
Oh,
It's for people like me who are the only real employee and have independent contractors and whatnot.
yeah, because you are an independent.
How about just music teacher guy? Would that work?
Yeah, I'll try that. Of course, I have a ton of questions to ask you on why you went.
There we go.
I don't see you. No. I'm going to move the speaker closer to me because I'm going to take it off. I'm turning this on right now.
Okay.
Taking my mic off. So,
How about clicking music teacher guy down there, the blue one.
okay, I did that.
Okay.
Who's the cute little guy?
That's the logo that Monty.
Oh no, I'm joking. It's a picture of you.
Oh, sorry. Could you try the speakers on?
The speaker here is on.
Try the intense finale for strings in A flat minor. This is a short string piece that I was trying to compose for as if it was an exciting part of a horror movie.
Okay, I'm going to try this right now. I mean, hopefully it sounds good. We'll see. Alrighty then. That was sorry about that. It's just force of habit, I guess. Well, it is for me.
That's weird. That took us right to Spreaker on YouTube, I think, or something.
Did you actually put?
I guess I did somehow arrange that.
Okay. Hey, that's fine with me. I mean, I don't mind.
Let's try playing one right off of Reverb Nation stuff. So close that window.
Okay.
Now, can you go up to where it says songs in the middle?
What about the Justin Bieber one? Just kidding.
Yeah, click that.
Are you serious? You really want me to play that?
Yeah.
Okay.
It just says Justin Bieber would never sing this.
Oh, okay. Well, give it a shot then. See what happens.
I think you got to click the black arrow.
Excuse me? No.
So this is just supposed to be kind of a bluesy shuffle riff groove.
All right.
All right, let's try a different one. Can you click all songs?
I'm going to try all songs. All songs.
Right
Okay.
underneath.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
All right. How about
Barney Miller TV show Funky.
let me know if you like the riff on Hard Rock.
Oh, okay. I see you got Miley Cyrus doesn't like it. This whatever. So you want Hard Rock.
Okay, you can cut that off.
Cut that one off. Okay.
I wonder what this is going to sound like just coming through the speaker there. It sounds awfully boomy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure how I'm going to sound, but yeah, because it is not like a direct source.
Click the, how about a little bit of me playing Chopin?
Sure. Here we go right now. It's not playing. Is this supposed to be that? Oh.
All right, can we try?
Pretty nice. I'm sorry about the email thing. That won't happen again.
Okay, well, can we try? Oh, I forgot there was something left.
No.
How about Tomorrow Never Knows by the Beatles? I did a weird reorchestration of this. We won't listen to the whole thing, just some of it.
No, that's fine.
All right, let's try the Martin Luther King Jr. underneath.
Sure. Alrighty. That was Tomorrow Never Quite... What is that? Quit? Quite? Knows.
Just click the thing underneath it.
Okay. Here we go. Martin Luther King
Jr.
Jr.
I don't know what, but it really doesn't matter, but it really doesn't like anybody. I don't know what. I've seen God's will. I've seen a long life. I've seen mountains. I've seen mountains. I've seen difficult days ahead. But I'm not concerned about difficult days. We got some longevity. I'm not concerned about long life. I'm not concerned about longevity. I'm not concerned about mountains. I'm not concerned about mountains. Like anybody, I just want to do God's will. I just want to do God's will. But it really does. I'm not fearing any man. I don't know what will happen now. Of the company of the law.
Could we try?
By the way, that was much better than that opening band for New Order last night. Now, I know you didn't sing in there. I'm just saying in general.
Maybe. Could we try? How about the Caitlyn Jenner funky weird hit single at the bottom of the page?
Sure. Hey, that sounds pretty interesting.
All right, let's try a different one. How about
Yes.
keep going down a bit?
Alrighty. Well, you only got a few more to go.
How about experiment?
On me? Okay, that would be the next one. Folks, Experiment from Mr. Matt. I'm not going to say your last name.
Thank you.
Here.
Okay, how about the Beethoven's Fifth, a couple ahead above that?
Sure. Here we go.
I think. Okay, could we try end credits for a horror film? A few above that.
I see it right now. I'm going to play end credits for a horror film, folks.
Alrighty. How
Very
about
Yes.
two above that? This is just me improvising through some chords on the piano. I'm trying to sound a little bit like the romantic style of piano a la Chopin. It's not as good as the real thing, but let's listen to that anyway.
Sure, sure. It's coming up. very-
about my song that I tried to write for my college that got rejected, the school song, the alma mater? Could we play that second from the bottom?
Second from the bottom.
Third from the bottom.
Third from... Oh, okay, I got it. Here we go. It's from Matt. And here...
Just click it.
Okay.
We sing our praise to Barney and to the Quaker grave, keystone of the community, engine of opportunity. We all hail thee, and triple C. Strong is she against adversity. Quality within diversity. Of triple C, our hearts belong to thee. Proud and true we sing our praise to you. One and three C's. We thank thee for the opportunities. Grateful we shall always stay to teachers who help light our way. Long live the Garnet and the Quaker brave. Our alma mater stands beneath suburban skies, where learning for tomorrow makes us strong and wise. Triple C, our hearts belong to thee. Proud and true we sing our praise to you.
Could we try me trying to play Chopin Prelude in C minor up there, top of what you see there?
I guess tell me.
Nope, you went past it.
Oh, I went past it. Okay.
Nope, you went past it. Right there.
Right there. Alrighty, here we go.
Thank you. How about the one right above it? It's a string thing. It's got three movements. They don't really have anything to do with each other. They ends up doomy, or starts out doomy, ends up a little bit more happy.
Sure, here we go. Next one.
Might be a little loud.
Oh, okay. Try to make not too loud. It always takes about a minute. Alrighty.
All right, let's stop this now.
Okay.
Enough of that.
No, I appreciate you letting us listen to your music.
Well, I just don't know that anybody is going to hang in there after that. But we'll see.
Well, you had like different tastes, styles, background of music, I guess, so to speak.
Well, that's what do you mean in what we listened to today?
Yeah, and what you put together, I guess.
Yeah, some of it wasn't original. I mean,
No.
obviously the Chopin pieces, I played them, but obviously didn't write them, and the Beethoven thing, obviously. But some of it was original, or things I was hoping to turn into a song. But anyway, let's shut that down.
Okay. You don't want to give any more information about the...
Well, again, it's just themusicteacherguy.com. You would go to, like, if you wanted to listen to this stuff, it would be Spreaker or Reverb Nation. Sometimes, like, I'll post it on Tumblr, which is a link to if you wanted to listen to it somewhere else. So, basically, if you just do themusicteacherguy.com
Okay.
on any of the social media stuff, Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, all that other nonsense, it would be there. I mean, there's pictures I posted on Flickr, of things I've taken. But anyway, let's see. Oh, I know. Why don't you go to Drudge? Go to drudgereport.com and just sort of grab something that you think might be interesting.
Sure. Let me just put my mic back real quick. Actually, turn off the speaker real quick, and I will do that. Alrighty, 2016 Drudge Report. See what's on there. Right. There's one from Germany with Merkel.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what that's about, though.
Well, it says Merkel left wounded as Germans turn right. Yeah, German. Okay.
Too small.
Yeah, so her party lost some local elections pretty seriously because and the far right party, which is anti-immigration, is winning a big vote.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Well, it's a shame with her. How do you pronounce her name, by the way? Say her name.
Is it Merkel?
What's the first name?
Angela.
That's in Germany. You say Angela.
Oh, Angela.
Yeah, not a soft G.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh,
Well,
yes.
not that one. Get something else.
Okay. It's hard to say. North Korea class could wipe out Manton with...
There you go. 90-year-old man charged in sex assault.
Oh! I missed that one. Where was that at? I was looking at... Because I'm hearing a lot about...
Wait a minute. Tequila swinging Madonna has second on-stage meltdown. She's losing it. Click that.
Alrighty. Is it on the far left?
It's a couple above where you are now.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see it. Okay, here we go.
There you go. Read that, please. I'll read the headline. Tequila swinging Madonna has second on-stage meltdown over Rocco custody battle as she brands ex-husband Guy Ritchie a son of a bitch and begs someone, please F me. That can't be real. That sounds like an Onion News headline. Well, who is Rocco? Like her a son or daughter? That I thought she had adopted all these foreign babies, like African babies and whatnot. I haven't been keeping up with her adopt. I mean, she didn't have any kids herself, I don't think.
Honestly, I'm not even sure, Matt.
Read the story.
You trust me.
Whoops. Plug that back in. I'm sorry. Sorry about that.
No, it could have been. That was me.
No, I think it was my fault.
I'll take the blame.
Okay, it's your fault.
Okay, that's better.
Read the story.
Swinging tequila from
swigging.
I'm sorry. Swigging tequila from a fan's hip flask. Madonna suffered another onstage meltdown yesterday as she branded her ex-husband Guy Ritchie a son of a bitch and begged someone to fuck her.
No, you can't say.
F her.
I'm leaving.
Uh-oh. Matt has left the building.
Keep going.
The 57-year-old singer
57
in a row, 57. And locked. Oh,
I did it again. It's me. It's my fault. I'm sorry. Christ. Here, let me. You know what I'm gonna do? Let me put the mic on. Okay, there we go.
Okay, sorry about that, folks. The headset is coming
I
out.
keep pulling it out.
That's what she said. No. Anyway, it says the 57-year-old singer locked in a bitter custody dispute with guy over their son Rocco couldn't contain her emotions during a second mumbling show in, is that Melbourne, Australia?
Yep.
Oh, right. I got something right. That's a shock. Her, what does that say? Catalog?
Hold on. Chaotic?
Oh, thank you. Her chaotic appearance at the Rod Laver Arena included an emotional plea to the crowd, begging somebody to take care of me, please. I'll take care of her. I'm just kidding.
Or Bernie Sanders will do it.
Yeah, well, that would be a given there. Yeah, you're right about that. Who's going to take care of me? She's like saying. Yeah, she's a hot mess, I guess, so to speak. I don't know if I should read anymore. It's just too long for me.
All right, go on. Well, it's too many pictures.
Yes. And my one hand has just disappeared at this point.
All right, go to something else.
Okay.
Oh, well, some of this no offense, I don't mean to put you down, but some of this, and I look at it too a little bit, some of this goofy gossip stuff on the Daily Mail seems like it would be kind of up your alley.
Yeah, that's the thing I kind of question, because I know Rush pulls a lot off of the Daily Mail, but it is a lot of gossip. It kind of reminds me of the National Enquirer at this point.
Yeah, well, it's because people will read it. But go try a different Drudge one. Go back.
Sure.
We'll do the 90-year-old man charged with sex assault.
Right up my alley. I mean, about stories like that, not the other thing. I'm not close to 90 yet.
90-year-old Seattle man. I was, I didn't want to say anything. I was just in Seattle for like a day back in the end of July.
They might be talking about Matt. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, I don't know. Check the date.
Let's see. What was that?
I went to like sort of a concert in the park in Seattle. I think the band was called like Vaudeville. What were they called? They handed out like kazoos, and we all used kazoos. Vaudeville. I can't remember what they were called. It was a really attractive woman who was in the park too. But since I was extremely overweight, dressed like a homeless person, and was bright pink from the sunburn, I figured maybe I shouldn't, bother trying to approach her.
She would probably think you were a 90-year-old man.
Yeah. Read the story.
If you trust me. Let's see. It's in Seattle. The Seattle City Attorney's Office has charged a 90-year-old man with sexual assault from an incident inside a senior housing complex. The 66-year-old alleged victim says her elderly attacker isn't the only one to blame because the suspect had a similar incident 4 years ago. She must be a hot mom, I guess.
Keep going.
I was so shocked senior housing assistant group knew about this, said Shag resident Linda Malone. Malone is the tenant's associate president at New Haven Apartments in North Seattle. In January, 90-year-old Abram Kane contacted her to donate a bath stool to any resident who might need it. What kind of stool was it? I know it's a stool you sit on.
Keep going.
Okay. According to the report filed with Seattle police, Malone reported that Kane asked for a hug while in her apartment. Well, that was asking too much. I was hesitant. I apologize. But I let him, and he grabbed me inappropriately, Linda Malone said. He put his hands on my bottom and pulled me to him. That's what it says.
Yeah, baby. No, sorry.
He got me there. Well, I was off guard. I liked it, though. Malone says he talked about his ability to have sex at his age and commented on her breast. Woohoo! I'm sorry. I was afraid at that point, and I didn't know what was going on, she said. I didn't know what was going on myself. Malone says a phone call interrupted them, and Kane left
damn
the
it.
apartment. I know. Do you got any hot, sexy stories to tell us about?
Keep going.
Oh, God, I got to keep on reading on. What are you getting? What is your hand doing? No. Seattle police told her that in 2012, the family of the 92-year-old resident complained that Kane had groped their mother.
Yeah, they. All right, you know what?
What?
Shut this out.
Shut this out.
Let's try something else.
It's good, though.
All right.
The good old days of Stern.
Politics invade Hollywood. Okay. Google self-driving car. Collisions are teachable moments. That's funny.
Should I go down? I mean, on the
Cruise.
yeah.
Wow. What? Kasich promised amnesty within 100 days of electing? Oh, boy. Yeah, he's got to be done. All right.
How do you like those 3 a.m. girls there?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know much about them. I would assume. Well, I say let's click that. Let's just see what it is.
Sure.
I don't think I've ever read their site.
Oh. I'm going to refresh this page. It's not like let me load it for some reason. Now it is. They fell asleep. Ooh. Now, see, that would distract me, that picture there.
Yeah.
In fact.
Oh, so maybe this is actually like a celebrity gossip type of thing.
Yeah, baby.
Okay, let's go back.
Okay. Don't worry, I grabbed a screenshot of that picture.
Okay. Well, this can't be interesting to anybody to listen to. It's just looking at this and going, oh, well, let's see.
Yes. I mean, if there's nothing good, we could also, if you would like to, we did go to a concert last night. We went to...
all right, I don't have much to say about that, but
True.
You should talk about it. I'll chime in very minimally.
Actually, I don't have much to say either. We got a lot of pictures, I think. So,
Well, tell people where they could... If anybody might be listening... Actually, have you ever said this? Have you ever said, because you say, one of the ways you sign off, you'll say something like, thanks, this is kind of weird. You say, thanks for listening to my show if you do, and if you don't, try to get other people to listen.
That doesn't make
Well,
sense.
if they're not listening, how are they?
That's true.
how are they
I never
gonna-
thought of that. Yeah, you're right.
How are they going to know to get anybody? But have you ever said something like, look, I just want to know if anybody out there is listening, could you just send me like a 2-3 word email at, I'll give my email address. I'm music.teacher.guy@gmail.com. Music.teacher.guy@gmail.com. Or what's your email address? Is it Linux 2001?
Actually, my email address is Walter dot
Interante,
which is INTE
TERRANTE
at
Verizon.net?
Verizon.net.
Okay, yeah, I would say just email me and let me know that you listened. I don't know that anybody would get like an hour into this, but
Probably not.
okay. So, what do you want to say about the concert? Here's the thing.
Well, thank you for driving. He drove. Matt drove.
Yeah,
wasn't it?
no big deal. Trust me, it doesn't make any difference. I guess. I like some New Order stuff, but. They wouldn't be like, I don't think, of my top 10 bands of all time. Would they be for you? They probably would be, right?
Yeah, for me it would be. Yeah,
Okay. But that's weird, though. You don't know the names of anybody in the band.
no.
So it was a little bit disappointing not seeing Peter Hook, the bassist, there. It's kind of depressing. They did show a picture of Ian Curtis from Joy Division. That was nice, and they played Atmosphere. And, they made sure to play, I guess, what are the big hits? Blue Monday, Bizarre Love Triangle.
Yes.
What's the... Then they played Ceremony by Joy Division also. They do that. Well, I guess Ceremony was sort of right on the cusp of Joy Division and New Order. They both played the song. They both had that song.
Love Will Tear Us
Oh, they played
Apart.
Love Will Tear Us Apart too. And that's true. What's the song? Oh, man, it's another pretty popular one. It's not Bizarre Love Triangle and it's not Blue Monday, but it's like the third most popular one. I'm drawing a blank right now. It doesn't have like a real... It's not Thieves Like Us. You would know the song if you heard the lyric.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But you don't know which one I mean though, do you?
No, I can try to put in this New Order.
Yeah, see, can you type in like set list, Upper Darby? Well, actually, you know what? Here, check this out. Go to YouTube
Oh,
and see if there's New Order from like last night, if anybody actually put it on YouTube already.
yeah, there was a lot of people recording probably. Let's see, New Order. Upper.
And maybe like Tower Theater, Philadelphia, or something like that.
I'm really good typer.
Moonlight in Japan.
Yes. I'm going to see if I can get away with Oh, you're right.
3/12, right? March 12th?
Yeah.
Okay. Whoever took that right there probably was like standing right in front of us.
Yeah, and had their hands up too. No.
See if they have a set list. Like click on that video and then like if you look down below,
To make sure the sound is off good.
sometimes they'll put a set list up there. Well, isn't that crazy? Like who would have thought 20 years ago that we could go to something and like see video of it
The
less
next
than
day.
24 hours or whatever it was later?
Well, actually, it was funny, Matt. You mentioned it. They didn't even question about cameras. Everybody could walk in. You could have came in with whatever.
It's almost like you can't even. It's crazy. Hey,
Yeah.
you could be the first person to comment on this one.
That's true. Now, notice I had the same thing with my picture. It's very blue in that video there. I had
There's
that.
a lot of blue light, I guess, right?
Yeah, yeah.
They like that, I suppose.
I
What
get-
song is that they're doing? Oh, Academic.
Yeah.
There's no. Can you click show more underneath there in the middle? In the middle. No, down. Show more.
Show more. Show me.
Yeah. Oh, is that it? There's no set list?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, you're right. Usually they have it taped somewhere pretty close.
Well, actually, let's see what this sounds like. Turn your speaker on.
Sure. I put my mic up today. It's probably not worth it, though.
Try a different video.
Sure. I'll turn this off real quick.
Might as well just leave it on, but anyway.
Well, I don't know if how it's going to sound.
There's just going to be some noise in the background, probably.
Well, see, there's Love where Will Tear Us Apart.
Okay.
Good song. And it's just like Matt's videos. It's taking forever to load. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, a couple of those songs of mine that I listened to, I did put some space
Okay.
before them on purpose. Wasn't so good for what we were doing there, but there was a reason for it, a different reason, but not important.
Yeah.
Forget it.
I'll hit the show more underneath, too.
Yeah, sometimes they put up a set list.
That's true. I can try to, like what you originally asked me to do, I can try to see if there's a set list somewhere or no.
Not that important. I'm just trying to figure out some song they played that's a pretty popular one, but I don't remember the name, and maybe I don't think it's Temptation. Anyway, not important. So what did you want to say about the show? Look, I enjoyed the songs that I knew, which was the Joy Division songs and their hits, but the other stuff... And they played that one new song from the album that you have the T-shirt of, which kind of looks like a Mondrian painting a little bit. That song, and I think I bought... Did I buy just that song, or did I buy the whole record? Which is a pretty not bad song, but... I don't know. I guess it was kind of neat that there was like all those old heads out there, going to a show. Old people who would be into New Order.
Well, that's fun you mentioned that there are two women that were waiting to buy some merchandise. They asked me, have you listened to... And I was thinking about this today, by the way, because I'm not even sure how to answer. I didn't know how to answer last night. Have I listened to New Order from the beginning? And it was like, I guess I did, but I don't know. What year did they start out at? Wasn't it the 60s or mid-70s? 70s, right?
No. Ian Curtis killed himself on May 1, 1980.
Oh, really?
So
Joy Division, though.
Joy Division, yeah.
Okay.
So they would have carried on. I don't know how. I mean, they carried on.
Yeah.
And I don't know how much time they took off. I remember Peter Hook hearing about it and almost just going, oh, like almost matter-of-factly about it, like it wasn't a big deal or something.
Wow.
So I got to imagine, I think the first New Order stuff, I think was like 81. I mean, if you go back and get that like Best of New Order, that White Album, the first song is Ceremony, which again, they had when they were Joy Division.
Yeah.
I think that's 81.
See, I didn't realize that.
But did you listen to them when you were, like when you were in Horsham?
Yeah.
And, whoever it was, I don't know, Wendy Jones or Tammy Hargrove that got you into some of this music, like The Cure and Depeche Mode, like was that one of the ones she got you into?
Actually, now you mentioned it, I might have gotten into that, I think, probably when I actually met up with you guys at Monco.
Well, you definitely did then, because I remember you said, hey, I like New Order better than Joy Division, and like Joe Lotito was like, what? No way, you can't like, New Order better. So it was at least since 91.
True.
So there was not, and do you remember how early before that you've been listening to them, or was it new?
I probably was pretty. I don't know. It might have been a little bit beforehand, but I don't think by much if at all.
Okay, so you probably started listening like 90.
See, where I assumed it was 60s or 70s though was because with the Cure, the Easy Cure was around like in the 70s,
early mid 70s. I think.
Yeah, so was Susie, and I assumed that New Order was almost in the same line.
Now remember, Joy Division was something like 77, 78 to 80, something like that.
That's true. Now, I had a question almost. I remember back in the day I got this wrong. I know it's hard. I get anything wrong. But I always thought the band before Joy Division was called Die Warsaw. That was actually one of the albums, I think, from Joy Division.
No, just Warsaw. Die Warsaw is something else.
Oh.
But they were called just Warsaw before, Joy Division. That's what.
So that was right. Because I remember, was it Dave Pettigrew was like really into, wasn't he, or no?
He was into Die Warsaw, which again is something different than that.
Oh.
I mean, he likes Joy Division too, but in fact, I remember this one time, I think we swung by Dave's house. It was me, Joe, and his girlfriend. I don't know if you were there or not. Maybe you were.
Yeah.
And we swung by there, and she asked to borrow his Die Warsaw album. Wow. But yeah, I think that's something different. I don't think that's the same thing.
Okay.
I think, unless I'm thinking of Die Cruisin'. But anyway, I don't know much about it. I've looked into that.
I knew there was. I thought there was a. Before Joy Division, even there was something. I thought I did get it wrong, but I didn't realize. Was a little right. A little right.
What's our minute mark here? What are we up to?
You know what? That's a good question. I'm not even sure. We've been doing it for a while. You're better with those meters.
Isn't there? Oh, it's an hour and 18 minutes.
Wow, that's pretty impressive, I would say.
Not as long. You've gone a couple times, I think, longer than that, haven't you?
I've been long-winded, but it doesn't mean it's a good show. It's just me.
Well, no, I know, but I'm not saying that either. I'm just saying that as far as the time goes, I thought I saw a couple that were
2-3 hours. I've done some that were like 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah, didn't the Well, I know it seemed like Michael Zapsik definitely didn't let you go on that long, like you would have, but he I think he kept it to like, was it like half hour, 40 minutes, something like that.
Maybe even shorter than that, maybe 15, 20 minutes, which was really good, honestly, Matt. Because
and Ryan Logston let you go on for a while, but
Ryan did it for 2 hours. We had taken a break because he smoked, so we took an hour mark break and did it for another hour.
Okay. Hey, you know what I ate today?
What?
1 apple.
Wow, that's impressive. That's really good. I'm telling you, I can't survive a day without eating like a little bit more than just a little bit of food and just drinking water. I couldn't do that either.
You know what it is? I think it's almost like with drug addicts or alcohol addicts, you have to hit rock bottom where you're such a freaking mess.
Yeah. That
you're just tired of it, and you want to change, and it's like enough already. And I don't know. I'd like to find a way where maybe I could have like 1 day a week, or maybe 1 day every 2 weeks, where it's a cheat day where I could. Cause, I mean, like one of my students gave me a gift card to Red Lobster, and I would love to go there.
Oh, you used to take me to Red Lobster years ago, I remember.
But I haven't been able to use it. I got it for Christmas, and I'm still holding on to it. I haven't been able to use it, and so I would like to say, is there a way to like have a cheat day where maybe like 1 day a week or 1 day every other week you're eating like pizza and a milkshake or something like that? But as long as you don't do it every day.
That's true. I mean, because honestly, for the people who don't know what Matt looks like, Matt, you're looking much better. You look incredible.
Well,
you've lost
better than before.
You've lost,
I think, about 32 pounds.
32 pounds.
Maybe more, because the scale, I don't know if the scale is, Anyway, not important.
But it's fat. I mean, because people don't understand. Like, you can lose a lot of weight. Could be all water, but yours is actual fat.
I think it was real fat.
Yeah.
More a little bit of water, but not primarily water.
Which is really hard to do. Trust me, I know.
Well, especially now that you get older. But
speaking of which, those band members, even with New Order, I actually looked up. That girl was in the original band.
Really? Like what year? We're talking about like early 80s?
Pretty much, because I remember being in the original. Well, the first couple videos I checked out of New Order, and I remember her playing the keyboards in the background, and she really put on the pounds. Obviously, I can even maybe real quick, not to take it away, because I mean.
No, it's fine.
Let's see, New Order. That's the only reason one of the reasons I wanted to take pictures of her, just to see how much she changed physically, because she was recognizable, but no, that's well, folks can't see these. These are newer pictures, but there's ones when she's much younger, and I had to look it up because I just wanted to make sure.
I guess I don't really know because yeah, you're right. She's in there.
Yeah. Now, those videos, like the music videos I put from the earlier heydays, I remember seeing her in those when they're in those, what do you call it? Those Chinese things where you bounce off each other. I can't remember, like sumo outfits. They did that video. She was in there.
What video was that for? What song was that for?
That was early.
Another song they did play that I like. I forget the name of it, but it's the one. It's like. Up, down, to the ground. Please don't let me hit the ground. They played that. I like that a lot. But that wasn't the one I was thinking of, I don't think.
But that is one of their classic songs, too.
And I don't think it's the one that's Everything's Going Green. I don't think it's that one.
Oh.
Anyway.
Well, I mean, if you really... I had to do it last night because... Here we go. Look how young they are there. And that's her. That's her right there. She went from looking...
That must have been... Did they have a year on that? Oh, 85. Okay.
Yeah, because I remember I had a crush on her, kind of. She's like a real... I think she's good on... it's not even a keyboard. I think it's a synthesizer.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was really good, and I just thought she was kind of cute, but you could tell it was her still, but she really just...
Well, how do you know she's really good? I mean, it's like... With their music, I almost wonder, how much of that is programmed ahead of time?
That's true too. Yeah. Well, it's that you're right there. I was kind of thinking it myself. Maybe it's pre-recorded.
And plus, if you could see over her shoulder, I mean, I'm sure she's not playing like Rachmaninoff or something on the keyboard. It's probably relatively. I'm not putting it down.
No, I don't know. Well, I have a thing for female
musicians.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I can see that.
So yeah, and when I saw her last night, it was like she had the turkey neck going on, and she really put on the pounds.
That's what happens when you get older. Speaking of which,
yes. Going back to the man.
Well, no, could I count on you?
Yes.
For a ride and whatever that entails, which I don't think will be too much trouble. I'll find out. I kind of have half a mind to revisit my and nothing drastic, but now that I'm here I am. Now that I'm getting out of debt, let me get back into debt again.
Mm-hmm.
Of thinking about getting a little bit of work done. Just to improve my face a little bit because I mean I have the eyes need to look like they're more open than I have them and getting a stronger chin even if I lost all the weight I needed to I still never had a strong chin, and that's one of the things you can't get away with that if you're a guy having a weak chin. You kind of can with a woman, but
yeah.
So there's that, and I used to be, and maybe the nose a little less bulbous, and just what can I do to kind of
You talk about bulbous, look at my nose.
Oh. But so anyway, so if I do this, and I could count on you for a ride. I mean, it's not like I'm not going to tell my folks.
Yeah.
But I would almost rather have somebody else drive me and pick me up because I'd have to drive home. I'd be. I guess I could call a cab, but I don't know. And these days, you almost walk out of an operation, not like in the old days where you spend time in the ER or the what do you call it when you're resting up?
I know what you mean, the recovery room or something?
Yeah, I guess so. So anyway, if I actually do that, you'll give me a ride.
Now, that'd be a question because I know before you used to go to places like that in New York, though.
Consultation, but never did anything about it.
Okay.
But so yeah, I'm hoping that if I do need a ride, and like I said, I probably could call a cab. That almost sounds like an industry. Like we'll pick you up at after your or Uber. You could probably call some Uber driver to do it.
That's
or something
true.
Like that. But I was hoping that you might do that. But you can't. Don't use up all your vacation days.
No.
Go into meet and greets with Pat Benatar and these Twilight show things. I mean, have some days so that maybe. And I would try to pay you a little bit of something for it too. By the way, speaking of which, how much do you want for that little flash? What is that? It was like a memory stick from the thing.
Honestly, I think it's probably worthless anymore anyway because it's pretty old.
Well, I'll give you like $20 for something like that.
If you want to, I'm not going to say no, but you don't really have to give
So
me
you don't even
anything.
use that camera anymore?
Actually, no, Matt. All the time I use my Sony camera. I got this
How
from
much did that cost?
I think at the time it was probably, because it's been a couple years, it was probably like $500. I got it at the Sony outlet. It doesn't exist anymore. So
Up there at what's it called?
yeah, the Philly outlet, they got rid of it, unfortunately.
Again, when I here we go, get back into debt again. But when I am out of debt, maybe I ought to get like I like that camera that we got, but maybe I ought to get something with maybe something that you could get put a real serious lens on there. You know what I mean?
Now, that's good and bad. I'll just let you know now, because I got this because it was cheaper. It was, I think, $500. It might have been less. But this is called the CyberShot, the one I have. It takes decent pictures. You get a lens that's removable. Don't expect to take it to any concerts. They won't let you take it.
No, I never do anyway.
No. I like it, though, because I've been going to a lot of shows and obviously taking pictures from all of them and never getting an issue with it.
Yeah. Well, I'm not big on. I mean, I want to enjoy the show. I don't want to be constantly trying to take pictures of it.
Well, that's true.
That almost seems like people really like to talk about. Look what I did. Look where I was. I was here. Aren't I cool? And you ruin your experience if you're constantly worried about documenting it and stuff like that.
That's true. I guess the only reason I do it, honestly, is because pictures last longer, for one thing. I get my money's worth. Two, I'm just hoping somebody might see it. I know this is wishful thinking, and say, hey, we really like the way you take pictures. Maybe you could help us out.
Oh.
And,
yeah, that's the thought. But you know what, though? There's so... I don't know, man. Anymore, it just seems like people trying to do things like everybody in the world can be is a graphic designer selling their work for $5 on Fiverr.com, or there's so many there's so many people out there who know how to score films. It was kind of depressing. I was on YouTube and I was looking at people giving instructional videos on how to create musical scores for epic adventure films, and they were actually pretty good at it, but it's there's so many of them. Why would I think that I could be able to break through that? I mean, it's like 1,000,000 to 1 shot. So there's just everybody and his brother out there can do it now. You know what I mean?
Well, that's true.
Everybody will be famous for 15 minutes or something like that.
Well, even like what we're doing now with this is something different, but with the podcast, that's like doing radio, and that's pretty much like everybody's doing that too.
I never actually did it. I know you did it, Cabrini, but when I first was signing up for Monco, I went there with a couple of friends of mine who were going to be going there, and we thought it would be so cool to be like, yeah, we're going to sign up for the radio station. We're going to be like Howard Stern and do this. Now, granted, the radio station at the time, it was a PA system for the cafeteria.
I remember that, yeah.
And even if you did, I never wound up going through with it. But even if you had done it, you'd just be some other jerk off who, I don't know. It's hard to stand out, and I mean, there's people on Spreaker that I don't know. It's just I don't know what I'm trying to say here, but it's just very difficult to stand out above everybody else.
That's true. You're absolutely right. I mean, I guess I tried different avenues. Obviously, you're the one who got me into even movie or film or video production.
Put it this way: would Howard Stern, if he was brand new now, would he be able to be Howard Stern starting now rather than starting in 82 or whatever it was?
Honestly, probably not, because there's so many other people out there doing the same thing or something similar. So yeah, you're right. It would be a lot more difficult. You just hope that the right person hears you and they enjoy, your talent, if you have any, whatever.
Okay.
So,
hey, could you go to Tumblr for a second? Tumblr.com.
Sure.
TUMBLER.com. No. BLR, not BLER. TUMBLR.com.
Yeah. There's no E. Because I have a Tumblr account.
Tumblr's good for, well, never mind. Don't say it.
Oh. See, here's a little Walter. Hey, who took that had taken that great picture of Walter, by the way, back in the day?
Oh, hey, how did the picture of you? Did the second one look kind of good, or
It actually didn't look too bad. I got Tumblr right here. I don't know where I get all those sexy pictures from. Oh yeah. Speaking about that, was it either Tumblr or Matt or somewhere else? I didn't ask for it, but they added me with some page where women.
are you yelling? It sounds like you're really yelling.
I'm yelling.
Okay, take it down.
They actually added me some web link, and I think it was on Tumblr, I believe, where women just post up pictures of themselves, selfies, with no clothes on.
Okay.
And it was like, okay, well, why they add this? I don't want to say that I want to add them back, whatever you call it, because
they just probably started following you. Is that what
they
it's called?
they did. So
Yeah.
I get updates.
Well,
on
that's
that.
that's like I think they're trying to boost to seem like they have a lot of fans or something, or yeah, they're trying to follow you in the hope that you'll follow them back.
Honestly, I'm afraid to, because when you start following things like that, then it just it makes me look like I'm the.
Well, we already know that.
Well, that's true. I don't. Well, everybody else knows.
What do you
it
mean
too.
makes you look like?
Okay. Wah, wah,
that
wah.
cat is out of the bag.
It's a bit out of the bag.
That race has been run.
That's true. I'm going to show you real quick, because these are really hot pictures. Not really. There's.
Hey, you look good there.
Eh.
I mean, of course, it's like, the only problem is like you don't know like where you're at, and it's just you're standing just in front of some guys.
Actually, no, I was going to ask you last night, and probably we couldn't have done it anyway. I was hoping if I could have got a picture in front of the concession stand or that T-shirt stand.
Oh.
But that was so crowded, that wouldn't have happened anyway.
Yeah, I just wanted to get out of there.
I don't blame you, too.
All right, so yeah, go back to Tumblr and look up my account, which I think is, I don't know if it's the Music Teacher Guy or just Music Teacher Guy.
Did I add you on Tumblr? I can't remember. Is that you there, too, the girl in the bikini?
Yep.
I mean, that's you. You really do look good since you lost that weight.
Yeah, well, it made a big difference.
I notice. I'm obviously trying to whip out the first. The da. Used to be the name of a band.
I think we're going to need the guy in there.
The guy. Can't find you at all, even though your advertised car is there. It's not you, right?
Click it.
Click it good. Da-da-da-da-da.
So, did anybody comment or see the picture I put up there you sent me?
No, I thought that picture was pretty good. I try to give you some decent pictures.
One note. Click where it says.
One note.
So probably just somebody liked it.
The bizarre Mooney balls like this.
The bizarre Mooney balls?
Money balls.
Money balls.
Not Mooney, Bunny. I'm sorry.
All right.
So I don't know who that is. Hey, that's my picture. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, okay.
They didn't like it from me, though. They probably thought well, that's besides the point.
All right, not important. Okay, so do we have anything else to talk about? What time is it, do you know?
Matthew, right now it is 9:42 p.m.
Oh, crap. Well, I got to go to my folks' place just to put in an appearance, but I don't want to go there to eat anything because I can't eat what they cook. Plus, my dad gets pissy and annoyed if I, bring over food to cook myself.
Yeah.
'Cause, it's like more to clean up, even though I'll clean it up. Or if I ask him, hey, how do I do this? He doesn't want to be bothered. So I'll just go over there and, just say hey, and then... And this week I'm off from school.
That's good. You're on, not spring break.
Yeah, spring break.
Okay, that's cool.
But I do have to get up tomorrow to get the tooth fixed.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's right. You
So,
cracked your...
I want to see about, I really, maybe beginning or middle of April, I think I might just take not a whole week off, but maybe Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday or something like that, just to, I don't know, just have a little bit of time off. I figure school maybe will get a little bit more demanding. Things will be tightening up in terms of more things getting due because the semester's coming to the end. So I think I might try to take some time off. So the only thing I got this week is I got to get the tooth fixed tomorrow and get my taxes done on Friday. After that, I'll feel a lot better.
Right.
Just
Yeah.
a couple things that aren't something to look forward to out of my hair. And then I don't know. What else should we talk about?
If you want to, I don't want to hold you up too late either, if you want to go over your parents, but, that you obviously decided to go back to school, and in addition to running a full-time business and having people work for you, you're got a lot on your plate.
Yeah, if anybody's listening to this, again, go to my website, musicteacherguy.com, and just send me a note, just that you hurt. I did it again. I'm sorry. I keep unplugging my headphones because I need a longer cable. That's the thing.
I am so sorry. I probably should get some hair extensions. No extension for the cables. Right. Anyway, you can if you want to repeat.
Nah, it's not. I was just saying.
It actually got recorded either way.
No, I know. It's just that we couldn't hear it, so it doesn't really make any difference. All right, so yeah, I don't know that. I know you said like, well, I do better when I have a guest, but you know,
I do. I really do.
I don't think that anybody is going to want to listen to this.
You'd be surprised.
I think your big hits probably came if they had some relationship to comic book men, or the Milo Yiannopoulos thing.
Milo actually went up a couple more listeners who actually listened in.
Yeah.
So, hey, I'm not complaining. I know they're just actually tuning in for other reasons. So, but I mean, yeah, you decided, I guess, a few years ago you wanted to do a little bit more than just. You know, we were getting a little bit tired, I guess, of not.
Well, you need to have your mind occupied. Like, I don't know how you do what you do. Well, I guess I do. I guess that's why you're, you know, some of the things that you pursue. I know, which I know I've been critical of before. Like, you know, do you really want to be focused on
kids' movies?
Well, just entertainment in general.
Oh yeah.
But, and you know when I first realized it, like you know, you and I went over to Monty's house at one time. We watched The Rules of Attraction.
Yeah.
And I saw what's his name in there, and I go, man, that's a good-looking guy. I wish I looked like that. Ian Somerhalder. And then you called me up like the next day or a couple days later, and you were talking about Ian Somerhalder with this passion, like really just breathlessly talking about it. And I started thinking, why does he care so much about this? Like it's, you know, I just happen to say offhandedly, he's a good-looking guy. I wish I'd looked as good as he did. I wish I had that look. If I could, you know, look like anybody, it would be him in this movie. And like, you know, and I started thinking, like, God, that just seems just a little bit too. I mean, look, everybody in the world loves movies for sure, and I certainly wouldn't be able to live without them. But I don't know. I just kind of think that should be the dessert, not the main course. You know what I mean? Kind of.
It runs in the family. My mom likes desserts mainly.
Well,
I know what you're talking.
You know
about.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm trying to work on having a main course. I don't have a lot of one. I have, you know, a business, trying to learn more, going back to school, trying to broaden my horizons and maybe try some things that make me a little bit uncomfortable. But and I do, you know, I'm interested in like entertainment, music, film, stuff like that. But I just
well, that's pretty cool too. Honestly, you mentioned that. I mean, you've always been an influence to me in the past, but you performing in that, I don't want to say an orchestra, but a chorus. Choir, and I mean, going back to school after, you know, a long time of graduating with your.
And I think next semester. Well, I was going to say next semester might be my last semester at Maka. Well, that's not. I might go back very intermittently for some like art and graphic design stuff, like once in a while. I'd be like one of those adults taking like one class. Sure. But my next real semester is going to be next semester, and I did contact one of the teachers there about doing an independent study with her to like really learn some serious music composition. Like I want to know what Mozart and Beethoven and Haydn knew. I mean, you know, and of course those guys were so ridiculous that like, you know, Mozart, you know, knew this stuff by the time he was 8 or something like that. He was a freak of nature. And, you know, Beethoven probably by the time he was 20. But I don't know a lot of that stuff, so I need to learn it. So that's what I'm going to be doing next semester. I got to take Italian 2 somewhere just to get that done with. It might not be at Monca. It might have to be at like Acadia Beaver College. And then there's one more music history class with the guy that I was telling you about that I have to take. And then other than that, it's just the independent study, music composition, and you know, I also want to like take some cooking classes because I now finally can kind of cook basic things. You know, I know how to put something in a skillet and cook it.
Yeah.
So I want to go along. You know, keep what's the word? I want to. I can't think of what's the word.
You're asking me? That was
hold on. Progress with that a little bit. So yeah. So I don't know. So it's just sort of, you know, occupying your mind, and especially not having like my own family, you know, that's, you know, I guess that's how most people have their minds occupied. They raise a family, which is good, and you got to do that if everybody's going to survive. But since I don't have that, then I need things to occupy my mind, and I don't want it to be just, entertainment all the time. I want it to be something that might be enriching or something that I can say I know how to do that, or something. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I think, kind of.
Yeah, no, I know. Something that you're actually doing yourself as opposed to depending on somebody else to entertain you, or not even entertain you, just keep your time.
I don't want to be. I don't want to be completely passive fan in the audience watching. I mean, I'm that a good portion of the time, but not 100%. All right, so we really probably should stop. Now, what do you do normally? Usually just
I usually sign off. One last thing I want to say on a side note for everything you're doing, though, real quick, is that's very impressive. Like, you're taking these classes, you are self-employed, you own your own business,
right.
Music teaching, you have people working for you, you are going to school,
okay.
And you refuse to borrow any money to pay for all the classes you have taken.
Yeah.
You paid out of pocket. You earned the money yourself. You will not take it from somebody else.
I mean, well, of course, doing it at a community college is one thing. So I mean, I can pay. It tends to be like about $1,000 a semester.
It's still money, though. It's still a bit of money.
But the question is, and I don't know the answer to this, is when I do want to go somewhere else, and I believe I do, what's the dollar amount I'm going to be faced with then? I don't know what it's going to be.
Yeah, then you're going to have to probably borrow or something like that. But not with the intention. I mean, obviously, you're going to pay back whatever you would borrow if you get some student grant or you get grants or something. Your job would be up for those.
Or if there was some way I could be so incredibly good at music composition that people listen to the stuff that I have and they go, You're going here for free because we have to be able to say that this guy went to this school.
Actually, that could possibly happen. Depends where you go. Not in that way, but if they need somebody with a GPA that's at a certain level or something. That's what happened to me at Cabrini. They actually gave me a half scholarship because my GPA was...
Really?
Yeah.
That's why?
Yeah, because I had
so they brought you in just to make them look good. Mm-hmm. Interesting.
Now, I was a part... What do you call it? It was
partial scholarship.
Yeah, partial scholarship. Now, if I had a GPA like yours, I would have got a full scholarship, a free ride.
Really?
Yeah, because
from having a high GPA from a community college.
Yeah, because there's a guy from Monco, and I went in. He came from Monco too. Another guy went to Cabrini.
Yeah,
and he got a full scholarship because he had
solely because of that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and he was a male too because Cabrini.
Oh well, that's true. It's a bit of a quota. Yeah. Well, listen. Since I've been back at Monco, it's been nothing but A's since fall of 2013.
That will help you. Depending where you go, that should help. That will definitely help you no matter what. I would think.
All right. Why don't we sign off?
Okay. Now I have to say this right because I've been saying it incorrectly when I say I'm going to sign off. And
right.
So I have to make sure I say this right.
Well, I think what you want to say is, listen, if you listen to my podcast, thank you. But also, if you can, try to get other people to listen too.
That would make more sense.
And don't say, and if you don't listen to my podcast, don't say anything because if they're not listening, then they can't hear you.
I have to catch myself. I know I'm going to have to make myself aware. Anyway, folks, my friend Matt was on the show. I'm not going to give your last name, but you can check him out on musicteacherguy.com.
All right.
And he does give lessons, half-hour lessons. I don't know if I should disclose what the price is or they can just check it out.
Nah, don't worry about it.
Alrighty. But, he's and obviously you got to hear a little bit of what he has, made on his own, so to speak.
Yeah, baby!
But he's really cool, and I definitely was great to have Matt there. He's putting up his mic to my thing now. So I thank you so much. And again, this was Matt, my guest tonight. And my name is Walter from the iWalter Show. Thank you very much. And again, make sure I get this right. If you are listening, thank you very much. And please get other folks to listen in as well. And if you're not, too bad. No, I'm just kidding. I'm sorry. I couldn't help that. So, folks, thank you very much again. You are listening to the iWalter Show. Sorry about that. And have a good evening. Thank you very much.